Hi, everybody. Brent Schultz, Planning Director for the town of Nolensville. I want to talk to you about how the zoning ordinance update is organized a bit and how it has about 11 character districts. And I want to explain a little bit about the first one, which is called Character District 1 or the Natural Character District. And it is our open space areas throughout the town. It's your passive and active park areas. You'll notice on the zoning map, they have a green color to them. Well, these are all to be preserved as open space. Also, projects that come along and where they do open space in them, whether they're passive or active open space parks, they would be zoned CD1, so they always stay open space. Next one is CD2. That is our rural character district, and it would allow basically like estate lots, 1.1 housing units per acre. An acre is 43,560 square feet. So that would be large lot development. The next character district is called CD3L, and that is probably one of our biggest zoning districts. It's where most of the new subdivisions here in Nolensville, like all of them, have been designated that. That's to preserve them. And it would allow currently 2 housing units per acre in that zoning. It does not allow duplexes. I want to let you know we took that out so that it would not allow duplex type product types there. So again, preservation of the neighborhoods, preservation of the open space. All of the open space in those areas is being proposed to be designated CD1 so that it stays active or passive open space like it is now and is always preserved. Also, I want to let you know if you have a house and you want to do modifications to that house, they are allowed in that zoning district. If God forbid your house was lost by fire, you could rebuild it just like it was before. So that's CD3L. Next one is CD3. That character district is called neighborhood. CD3L consists primarily of low density single family residential units, or about 4 houses per acre, and it has deep front setbacks, and it has medium to deep setbacks, medium to wide side setbacks. Its thoroughfares have curbs and shall include sidewalks and streets and form a medium to large blocks. So that's 4 houses per acre, CD3. Next one is CD4. That's called neighborhood center. You'll see those in pink on the map. And that center has a mix of building types and primarily has residential, but it allows a little bit of retail, personal services, artisan services, offices, lodging, civic uses. There's medium to narrow or no front setbacks and narrow to medium side setbacks. It has variable private landscaping and has thoroughfares with curbs, sidewalks, and trees. And you'll see in that picture kind of a illustration of how the zoning code would like that area to look, with lots of trees, lots of open space, a lot of linkages, pedestrian linkages to and from this area, as well as vehicular to get people to and from. It's just a beautiful place to really go and enjoy a nice day here in Nolensville. So that's CD4. Next is CD4C. It's kind of a brighter pink color. It's called neighborhood corridor, and it is that character district consists of medium densities of about 8 housing units per acre. And it provides for a balanced automobile and pedestrian-oriented built environment with a mix of building types, primarily residential, retail, personal services, artisan, office, lodging, and civic uses. And there's medium to narrow to no front setbacks and narrow to medium side setbacks. And it has variable private landscaping, and it has thoroughfares which include curbs, sidewalks, trees, and that define the medium-sized blocks. And you see an illustration there. That one shows like a shopping center in the back, some retail going down a corridor with a beautiful median and linking up that neighborhood. That's really beautiful. Next is the CD4V or village. That's basically our historic village. You'll see it as kind of purple on our current plan, our strategy map, and it allows basically 4 units per acre currently. And it would allow retail there, personal services, artisan, office, lodging, civic uses, and there's medium or narrow front setbacks, narrow to medium side setbacks again. Variable private landscaping. And its thoroughfares also include curbs, sidewalks, trees that define medium-sized blocks. And its purpose is to preserve our unique character of our historic village. That's an important point of CD4V. Next up is Character District 5, Village Center. And you see that picture of the village center there. And it allows up to 24 units to the acre. It's a pretty small area it's not all over the town. It is only in one small area, just southwest of Nolensville Road and Clovercroft or Rocky Fork Road, in what's a lot of people call the Triangle. And you'll see that on the map with a red or burgundy type of color there, if that's appropriate. You will see that area. So 24 to the acre. One thing I wanted to talk about these densities that you're seeing, you can't build to these maximum densities, even though they're called out, because of meeting parking requirements, these sidewalks, streets, our storm drain requirements, our storm drain engineering requirements for detention basins, which I know you see all over our town. We want to limit flooding and stop it as much as possible through great storm drain engineering. So that will limit densities on these. Next up is I'd like to show the map and the CDH or Hamlet zoning district. The CDH is, you'll see them there. They're kind of a teal or greenish color. This would be a zoning a applicant would come in and seek approval of, and it allows a mixture of the different character districts. You could do a little of CD2, a little bit of CD3, a little of CD4, and then and it calls out percentages of those, like 10 to 35% or 5 to 10% of those districts. But then also the biggest part of these sites, 50% must be open space. So that's going to limit density of those sites. You'll probably see densities in the 1.38 to 2.5 units per acre. So large lot type of development in those areas. Again, that's CDH or Hamlet. Next up is the SD4 area. It's called the Industrial Village, the old OI areas. The consultant has recommended in this one a medium density area that has a mix of building types, primarily residential, retail service, retail sales, personal services, art, artisan, offices, industrial. So basically it'd be like an area where your business could be, but you could also have a little bit of retail services down there. You could have some housing down there for workers or owners of those businesses to live there if they'd like. And that's the current proposal on SD4. And then the 11th one here is the Civic District, CV, and that's for all of our government buildings, town halls like the post office, libraries, and places of assembly, places of worship. That's to protect them always as being civic uses. So that's all the character districts there. This is all available online for you. If you go to nolensvilletn.gov, you can get access to these documents and read them. So just go to the planning department page and click on the zoning ordinance update. It says that and TPUDC, and then you can look at that all you want. The schedule, I want to go over the schedule for adoption of the zoning ordinance. Right now, it's going through a number of meetings with the Planning Commission. They will have their final meeting and their recommendations to the Board of Commissioners tomorrow night, October 18th at 6:30. That meeting starts, and they'll take up the matter. They will finalize their recommendations on it. Those recommendations go on to the Board of Commissioners at the work session October 24th. And then the Board of Commissioners will take up a first and second reading of the ordinance to adopt this final ordinance with any changes that they approve of from the Planning Commission or their own changes that the Board of Commissioners votes on and agrees to. But after that November 3rd first reading and December 1st second reading, this zoning code would become law, and all new development projects that come into the town, all uses that come to want to open up and start in the town must comply with this new ordinance. Anyways, that concludes my presentation on the ordinance. We appreciate you listening and look forward to seeing you at some of the upcoming meetings.